Yo, what is up, guys? Del Boy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, this past weekend, we had a matchup between Kiko Martinez and Zelfa Barrett. Now, this fight ended up in a controversial decision, where Zelfa Barrett won a unanimous decision, where two of the scorecards actually had him winning 118-111. Which of course was absolutely ridiculous if you have a pair of working eyes, and these type of decisions in the UK are becoming more and more regular, and to me it's got to the point now where it's far too regular, if I'm being honest. I understand if this sort of thing happens across the world of boxing, when you've got a foreign fighter travelling abroad and fighting away from home. This happens a lot across the world, but in the UK it seems to be increasing year on year, and we get these terrible, bogus decisions. And obviously that's not a good look for UK boxing, and you would think there would be some course of action to improve the current situation. Because as I said, this is getting far more regular in the UK. You know, several scorecards recently which really ring a bell are, O'Hara Davis versus Miguel Vasquez versus Lewis Ritson, and of course most recently, Kiko Martinez versus Zelfa Barrett. Even when you look at Joe Joyce versus Daniel Dubois, I mean, the scorecards in that fight before the stoppage were crazy. Two of the cards, I believe, had Daniel Dubois up wide, which wasn't the fight I saw. And, the away fighter in the UK right now, these guys need to get a knockout to get a draw. That's how it seems. And like I said, there's no effort from the British Boxing Board of Control to improve the situation. Over the years, when judges make bad decisions, I hear that people say, well, judges are humans, they are subject to human error. That is true. Everybody can have an off night. I'm not saying a judge should be sacked for one bad night. And they also say, well, sometimes a judge could get influenced by the crowd, the noise, etc. Blah, 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 blah. I hear some kind of, defences in favour of judges, but, first and foremost, the idea that judges are distracted by crowds has kind of been blown out of the water with some of these decisions we've seen in recent months in the UK. Dead arenas with no fans, quiet as anything, easily able to concentrate on the action, and we have judges scoring Miguel Vasquez versus Lewis Ritson like 10 rounds to 2 in Lewis Ritson's favour. We have Kiko Martinez only winning 3 rounds according to judges against Zelfa Barrett. There's no crowd noise, there's no distraction, it's just you in the action, and they still come up with these bogus scorecards. And listen, in regards to the human error argument, that's perfectly acceptable, that's reasonable, but again, it's pattern recognition. When these bad decisions happen, if it was purely down to incompetence and human error, then theoretically, neither the A-side fighter or B-side fighter would necessarily benefit. It'd be kind of mix and match in regards to who got the bad decision, if that makes sense. However, it seems like every single time we're seeing these bad decisions in the UK, it always favours the home fighter. If it was purely down to incompetence and a bad night for a judge, as some people would say, then we would see these fights in the UK, and everywhere else for that matter, but we would see these fights go both ways in regards to who got the bad decision. If it was purely down to human error and incompetence, you would see both sides of a coin get bad decisions, but like I say, it always seems to be the A-side fighter who gets the benefit of the doubt, so the whole incompetence angle to me kind of falls flat on its face, considering it's very one-sided in regards to who gets these bad decisions. And, I think something does need to be done in the UK about the standard of judging and officiating in general, quite frankly, because this is becoming far too regular. We see the same old faces judge or referee these big fights, yet they constantly mess up on a regular basis. The British Boxing Board of Control, to me, is like an old boys club. Jobs for the boys, They've got their favourite referees, their favourite judges, and these are the guys who get the work, no matter how badly they fuck up. No matter how many careers they derail, they're going to get their paycheck the next week. And something needs to be done about it. There needs to be some sort of performance criteria where if these guys fall below that, they don't get big fights. They don't get title fights until they improve and earn those sort of jobs again, basically. There needs to be something done about the poor officiating in the UK, because it is amongst the worst in the world. I still see UK fans over here point fingers at other countries, complaining about decisions and corruption, while the UK to me is up there. The British Boxing Board of Control is up there with Nevada, New York for the most incompetent and more than likely corrupt organisations in the sport of boxing, because this goes on far too fucking much, and I'm getting sick of seeing guys getting robbed, quite frankly. I'm getting sick of seeing the same old faces referee or judge fights. Terry O'Connor, Ian John Lewis, Steve Gray, Victor Lachlan, all of these same old guys keep on refereeing fights and fucking up time and time again. And a licence holder in the British Boxing Board of Control, if they're like a referee or a judge and they voice their displeasure of what's happening, they're not going to get these big fights. The British Boxing Board of Control have their go-to guys, and these are the only guys who get used. There are numerous other referees and judges in the UK who never get the opportunity to ref or judge these big shows, because like I said, the British Boxing Board of Control stick to the same old guys, the old boys club, and you know, a less senior referee or judge who voices a complaint about performance or not getting an opportunity, these guys get brushed to the wayside. The British Boxing Board of Control is an absolute joke, and as far as I'm concerned, they're not serving boxing very well at all in the UK. If I was a foreign fighter right now, I'd be very much worried about coming to the UK. I'd be wanting a boatload of money to come over here right now, because we are the new Germany. You know, historically, British boxing fans love to say, oh, Germany's corrupt, you can never get a decision there, you need to get a knockout to get a draw. Well, the UK's like that now. In fact, it's probably worse. Certainly the worst country in Europe for judging, and one of the worst countries in the world, full stop, for refereeing and judging, up there with America. It's a complete joke, and, you know, the British Boxing Board of Control, they're not going to do anything about this. They're not going to take it seriously. They're not going to investigate or, you know, conduct any sort of performance analysis. They're not going to do that. They're just going to brush these events off, stick to their boys, and it's going to be rinse and repeat. I mean, look at Robert Smith, the chairman of the British Boxing Board of Control, after the Lewis Ritson fight. He was interviewed on IFL TV, and he was asked about the bad judging, and he said, like, the sheer contempt in this man's fucking voice during this interview, by the way, was shocking. But he basically said, we're not going to listen to boxing fans who probably had a few pints to drink. We're not going to listen to them. We trust our officials, blah, 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 blah. Everyone knows that was a complete fucking robbery, you know? And that's a problem with the British Boxing Board of Control. More than likely, it's fucking infiltrated with civil servants, arrogant pieces of shit, who have more than likely never fucking wore a pair of boxing gloves in their lives and have never taken a smack in the mouth. That's who's running the show at the British Boxing Board of Control. If you actually look into the background of some of these individuals, look at what type of people they are, it wouldn't surprise you that they've got the sheer amount of contempt that they have for us as boxing fans. But yeah, I'm getting sick of these ridiculous decisions in the UK. I understand, right, it's going to happen now and again. Law of average, right, and human error is a real thing. But listen, man, we're not fucking dumb. Pattern recognition is why human beings have survived for so long. And I recognise a pattern when I see one, and I see the home fighter in the UK constantly get the rub of a green and constantly get fucking terrible fucking decisions. And it needs to stop. It needs to stop. It's not helping the sport whatsoever. It's not helping the sport whatsoever. I'm sick of seeing it, quite frankly. I'm sick of seeing a guy who's worked for 9, 10, 11 weeks, you know, fights his arse off, deserves to win the fight, then he gets fucking robbed and then thrown out to the wilderness. I'm sick of seeing it, quite frankly. But yeah, I mean, what can you do? What can we do as boxing fans? I mean, I don't know. I guess all we can do really is keep talking about it, you know? Keep triggering that fucking mug, Robert Smith, at the British Boxing Board of Control for a start. That guy's a piece of shit who, you know, quite frankly, I doubt that guy's even a boxing fan, in all honesty. He's a complete clown. But yeah, I mean, UK boxing fans, and most do actually, like hardcore UK boxing fans, realise it's a shit show over here right now. But in general, there needs to be more light on this. There really does. There really does. I mean, we saw that Panorama documentary the other day on the BBC. Why not investigate some of this fucking bullshit that's going on? Because it can't be chance that it's always the home fighter who gets these fucking decisions when they don't deserve them. It can't be chance that. There's got to be something more to it. What is that? I don't know, but you have to tell me. Anyway, I'm getting wound up. Share your thoughts below. Peace.